guys, today we're gonna make some Amish dinner rolls. These dinner rolls are mine and my husband's favorite dinner rolls. I made a video on making dinner rolls. That was, I think, my second video. You could look at that recipe, but this is our ultimate favorite recipe of dinner rolls. This is the recipe that I always make. And here are the ingredients. Okay, so you're gonna need 2 large eggs, half a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 cup of mashed potatoes, lightly packed, 2 teaspoons and a half of instant yeast. I use dry active just because that's what I prefer. 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water. I'm using the potato water that I boiled my potatoes in, and 4.5 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. But I always use, in this recipe, I always use bread flour. But if you don't have bread flour, you could use all-purpose. First things first, I am gonna activate my yeast. I know that my yeast is alive because I keep mine in the freezer. But I just want to activate it or bloom it. Now, if you have, and I put just a tidbit of honey. If you don't have honey, you can use a little bit of white sugar or brown sugar so that yeast could activate. If you have instant yeast, which the recipe calls for, you don't need to. You could skip this step. I just prefer dry active, but if you have instant, go ahead and use that. So I'm just gonna let this sit for 5 minutes, and then I will bring you back once this is ready. Okay, so now that I know that my yeast is alive and when it's bloomed, I'm gonna put my flour. This is a straight dough, by the way, and what that means is a straight dough is you just dump everything together. There's no special steps that you need to follow. Just dump and go. Now, if you have a stand mixer, a mixer, a KitchenAid, you could do it in the KitchenAid. I'm not gonna use mine because when I make bread, I like to do it by hand, and I suggest you guys do it by hand if you guys wanna get better at making bread. I'm gonna add my salt. Actually, just gonna mix it a little bit because I don't want my salt to touch the yeast. And my sugar is gonna go in there. So yeah, so I mean, you could do it in the KitchenAid, go ahead. But if you want to get better doing bread, do it by hand. And my 2 eggs go in there. And my butter. Make sure your butter is soft too. You want soft butter. And last but not least, your yeast. With clean hands, you want to mix this. Oh, I love that smell of yeast. It smells like a bakery. And I do have some extra flour if my dough needs more flour. And these dinner rolls are so good. I put topping. I put a everything bagel topping with Parmesan. You don't need to do it. I like to do it. Alright, I'm gonna turn this over. I'm gonna knead this for about 15 to 20 minutes. This dough is a very soft dough, and this dough will make very fluffy dinner rolls. So I'm gonna knead this for 20 minutes. I usually knead it for 20. And then once it's done, I will bring you back. I knead my dough for 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna let it rise in my warm oven for about an hour or until double in size. Hey guys, my dough has risen for about an hour. Okay, so for my dinner rolls, I like to weigh them just so that they can cook evenly. And they could be in an even size. But if you don't have a weight, you don't need to weigh it, just eyeball it. This is just my choice. I like to do it this way. But if you don't have it, don't stress about it. Alright, here is my dough. Okay, so this is very easy to do. I'm just gonna get my scale ready. Alright, so I think I'm going to do 90 grams each. I think I'm gonna do 90 grams. So about this size, and you could do really whatever size you want them to be. I usually make them a little bit bigger, but I'm just gonna keep them small this time around. What do you guys think? Yeah. Alright. So I'm just gonna make a ball. I'm gonna make a C on my hand and then just roll it just like that. Alright, and I am just gonna set it in my Pyrex pan. Now you could, I have done these in cake pans. I just decided to use my Pyrex, so that's what I'm gonna use. Alright, and I'm gonna finish the rest of these, and then I'll bring you back once I'm done. I have shaped my dinner rolls. As you can see, these are already starting to rise. So I'm gonna let these rise until double in size. I'm gonna put them back in my warm oven, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay guys, so for the toppings for these dinner rolls, this is optional. The recipe does not call for this, but I like to put it. I like to put everything bagel with Parmesan cheese and an egg wash. And I did something that I have not done before, and I put some garlic powder in my egg wash. Now, you don't have to put these two things. You don't have to put an egg wash. You could put a butter wash. So you can melt some butter and just put some butter on top of the buns, or you could do a butter, excuse me, a butter and garlic wash. Again, if you just want to leave them plain, that is perfectly fine. Just put a wash, whether it be egg wash, a butter wash, or a milk wash. But I like it with the everything bagel, and that's how my husband likes it too. So that's how I do them. All right. Don't these look beautiful? All right, so I'm just gonna wash them. Everything bagel seasoning. And I like to be very generous. All right. And then Parmesan cheese. Again, I like to be very liberal with the cheese and the toppings. Alright, so these are gonna go in a 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. It depends on your oven. So once you see them that they're nice golden brown, they're ready. So just keep an eye on them. My oven takes about 23 minutes to bake these, so that's how long I'm gonna bake them. Okay guys, here are my buns, my Amish dinner rolls, and it smells so good. These are delicious, guys. I know your family will love these. You gotta try this recipe. It's the best.